forever. I hope he's somewhere doing well with all of his trans ladies. Well, oh damn, you would click. You would click live when I get to yelling.
I know she said we was going live, nigga. You just kept talking.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. So
I mean, but it ain't like you lied.
What'd you say?
I said it ain't like VJ lied. I mean, nothing.
Yeah, it's true. I'm just more concerned. I just want his vocals to everybody had a real bad time. Everybody
not coming back, sister. Let the dream go. Let the dream go. Nobody's vocals are coming back. Mario has his still. Nobody's are coming back.
Right.
Maybe Sammy's.
Yeah, Sammy didn't really do that bad.
Sammy was okay. He was all right.
Which is surprising. And the thing is, I didn't have high expectations, but I guess I didn't have any expectations.
Not really.
You know if that makes sense? It's nothing against him, as a slight, but when he came out, he was 11. You know what I mean? What expectations do I have for you as a singer when you were popping at 11? It's
real shit. That's like if Soul For Real dropped the album right now. We don't expect that shit to be hot. It might be.
Even recognize these niggas?
I don't know what they look like. I wouldn't.
No, that oldest nigga Hakeem. That oldest nigga Hakeem probably got a spotty beard and as an alcoholic.
It's the fact that you know this nigga name for me.
Because I would know. I'd have been the Soul For Real dudes. I wouldn't have not known a single.
Only reason I know that nigga name is back in the day, every tall nigga in a group, and when you didn't know that nigga name was usually Hakeem. The tall nigga in High Five, I think his name is Hakeem. Tall nigga in Soul For Real, Hakeem. And it was another group that was like that.
Everybody's name is just Hakeem. Okay, well.
Hakeem.
Hakeem was one of them. It was a popular name back then. One of them names that ain't popular no more.
Okay.
Hakeem used to be popular.
Nothing's like Moesha for me. I don't think I've heard that name at all.
I don't know nobody named Hakeem.
I've never met a Moesha in real life. That's a lie. That is a fucking lie.
You have? You met somebody named Moesha?
Yeah, but I think I met her. She was a kid. I think she was born after the show came up,
which is fucking bizarre. Hi.
I don't know. My godson is named Jamal, which is a very innocuous name of himself, except for that his mother was obsessed with soul food.
Hey,
and that's why she named because she was
Miles.
She's I want to name him Jamal, and I was like, okay, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't good, and I was like, okay, girl. And then she was like, yeah, because I love. Hey. And she was like, it's because I love soul food, and I was like,
what's up, baby?
Oh. I mean, like I said, she could have went Miles, and that would have been bad.
Miles. Wow.
Oh, you just in time, sister.
Cousin Faith slept with the family.
Yeah, why my shit just go dark like that?
Faith fucked the family.
Faith, that's what it was. Faith fucked the family.
Say it with me, Athena.
We did an episode back in the day. Me and BJ did an episode
if you say it, I'm running.
The Cousin Faith syndrome. Way back in the day, in the Penrose versus anybody days.
Are you staying or you going?
That sounds interesting. Okay, so hi guys. This is all docked up. I know it's been a while, but I'm hoping the faces stay familiar. We all were kind of doing our own little things. But we're back and I'm super excited to be here with you guys. I'm Chris. That's BJ. That's Penrose.
Yo, do we have a safe word for the night? Or a crazy word?
Not a safe word.
I don't know. That's a different podcast, sugar.
Right.
Maybe smash. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
All right, bet.
We'll figure it out. But guys, we are here to discuss a guy named Kai Barth, the Hatchet wielding hitchhiker. And if you guys don't remember him, he literally smashed through the scene in 2010. Bars for me. Do you hear him?
I see. You coming back in red form.
I think
that's what it was. Confetti word, right?
Or if we can rhyme, I don't know. We'll figure it out. But listen, okay. So if you guys don't really remember him, I'm gonna pull him up for a second, and we're gonna play this clip. And we're just gonna play this clip. So this is the interview that started it all. No one had any clue who this guy was, and much like most viral videos, overnight, right? Sensation.
Right.
I'm one of the heroes.
Yeah. Can we talk to you? Do you mind?
What do you want to talk about?
What happened today?
Well, went straight out of Dogtown, skateboarding, surfing it up. Before I say anything else, I want to say no matter what you do, you deserve respect. Even make mistakes, skills, or anything, you're worth. No one could ever take that away. Now, this right, driving, and I was in the passenger side of this fucker's car, and he comes over on there. He was over by the recycling center. He says, "Oh, when I was in the Virgin Islands, 30 years old on a business trip, I fucked this 14-year-old." I was like, "You what?" He's like, "I raped this 14-year-old." Starts crying, gives me a big hug. He's like, "Fuck, 300-pound guy." I'm like, "Oh shit, you must be fuckered, man. Like, what's he talking about?" I didn't take him seriously at first. Comes driving down this way. He's like, "You know what? I come to realize I'm Jesus Christ, and I can do anything I fucking want to." And watch this, bam, and he smashed into this fucking guy right there, pinned him in between that fucking truck. And so I hop out, I look over, the guy's pinned there. I mean, like, freight train riders know this. Like, if you get pinned between something, do not fucking move that shit, otherwise you bleed out. Like, motherfucker, I ran in, I grabbed the keys, he's fucking sitting there like nothing even happened. And like fucking like, man, if you started driving that car around again, man, there would have been a hell of a lot of bodies around here. Fucking I hop on out, and so I grabbed the bag, I threw it over by that pole right there, and then fucking buddy gets out, and these two women are trying to help him. He runs up, grabs the guy that big and so I fucking ran up behind the hatchet, smash, smash, smash. Yeah.
The lady said you saved your life.
She was the one who got grabbed by that fucker. You know what? Fuck is cool. That guy ain't. Shit. I was hitchhiking. I was hitchhiking. Yeah, don't shake. Well, what happens was, at least, dude, that guy was fucking cooked out, man. Like, he's beyond Howley. Like, I don't even see any breath in him. You know what I'm saying?
Can I get your name and where you're from, if you don't mind?
I'm Kai.
Kai? Can I get the spelling for you?
Straight out of Dogtown. K-A-I.
K-A-I. Do you have a last name?
No, bro. I don't have anything.
Where are you from originally? Are you from Fresno area?
Sophia, West Virginia.
No kidding. How old are you?
I can't call it.
Okay. What have you ever experienced anything like today? And what made you take the actions that you did?
He can't call it.
That woman wasn't dating.
Right.
He just at the time killing somebody, and so
Experienced anything like that, Kai?
I was in an orchard, and this fucking guy starts beating on this woman who he calls his. So I walked on over and I started smashing him in the head. You see all these teeth marks right here for the camera? Yeah, I started smashing him in the head and in the teeth, busted out all his teeth. Motherfucking the sheriffs, not the policy enforcers, fucking show up and start like they're like, yeah, so what happened? I mean, like, just give me any old name and just give me old fucking birthday, whatever. Just yeah.
What happened today after the deed? You're obviously free now, but were you arrested? What was the process? What did they do to you when they came out? Obviously, they found out that you did the right thing, but the time that from the accident until now, where have you been?
Well, he started following I. Like, I cleaned his motherfucking head wide open with a hatchet. He stood up like he was pulled right up, right? And like, fucking, I'm like, bro, if you're fucking Jesus Christ, I'll be the Antichrist, man. Like, fuck that shit. And he starts following me off this way, so I figure I'll lure him away from the crowd. So I'm running off this way. I got a hatchet in one hand, motherfucking this bag I'm carrying over with another hand. I start running off that way, and so a couple of the people who was bystanders to it came over and told me to stop. And I was like, why stop? And like, the cops are already on their way. I was like, is he back up and doing anything? And somebody said that he was like masturbating in front of this school or fucking whatever this place is right here.
After the hatchet?
By police, were you taken into custody? What happened? I mean, obviously.
I was put into the back of the sheriff's wagon. Wasn't the policies that fucking pulled I over? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So like, I got put in the back of the sheriff's wagon. The sheriff was like, "What happened here?" Took down a statement. I told him everything with you, and fucking let me on out. Said I couldn't grab all this stuff until I had finished, like they had finished with something. You know what I mean? and like brought me back on over here so I could be in front of this thing, like this fucking car right here. It's fucking gnarly, man. Holy shit. It's like the biggest wave I've ever ridden in my life.
Ever.
Somebody on that bus, that school bus, is like, yo, I passed that dude like 10 years ago.
If anybody's watching this somewhere else and got a mini mile that they could land a guy with a wetsuit, I'd love to test out Mavericks.
Again?
Club him in the head with a hatchet. You know, if I could go back in time, I'd go back over to where I was at that recycling center and he said that he had raped that chick over in the Virgin Islands, because it doesn't matter where you at. You can fucking just spend a bunch of money and do whatever the fuck you want. You know, that's not right. If I could go back in time, I would have dabbed him up right there.
Damn.
No, you're not. I mean, it doesn't seem like you have any concern for yourself. You're
Right.
about, I mean, doing the right thing and not even worrying about Kai first.
I don't have any family. Like, as far as anybody I grew up with is concerned, I'm already dead. So, whatever.
All right. That was that. I wanted to play the clip in its entirety because a lot of the stuff when we were first introduced to him, I don't think that we got the whole thing, or we didn't see the whole thing. I don't remember seeing the whole thing, but
I don't remember seeing any of this.
I remember the slam. They were making like the auto tunes and shit about it.
Nope, never
I've seen the
like,
video.
What Kiki Palmer say? I am sorry to this man, baby, because I didn't know who the fuck he was.
Sorry,
Really?
this man.
I had never seen that in my black ass life. Like I was like, what?
Not even like
Really?
the picture like didn't like look like, oh, okay, that's interesting.
I remember,
No clue. No
I
clue.
remember the first time I heard of that shit. Like that, I saw the whole video to like when this shit happened. Of course, not like the day it happened or whatever, but yeah, I've seen the whole interview before. And for the life of me, it's always, even back then, everybody, do we all just gloss over the fact that in the middle of this nigga talking about what happened, he wholeheartedly admitted to what possibly was a whole nother murder? See these cars? Like, J-Bug.
Like,
it was weird. The whole thing was weird.
It was weird. But I think, okay, so the general idea is that everybody kind of got swept up in the fact that he saved this woman,
right,
and technically saved this dude. He was paralyzed and shit, but he was saved, right? Or at least in a wheelchair for a while. So,
which I always thought was weird, because I'm sitting here and I'm like, I guess it's nice that he hit the dude with the hatchet or whatever, but the way they were making it sound, like, I don't know, like the way they're making this attack sound, I'm like, sister, you could have elbowed this man or something. Something's not.
Well, he was already out.
He was a big dude. And he was like bear hugging her from like the back, like trying to squeeze her to death or some shit. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. What if her elbow game really ain't like that?
I mean, as a person who has short arms, like, you know what I'm saying? Like maybe like if a nigga hold me like that, I can't even like. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I don't know.
I do have T-Rex.
Anyway,
arms, so.
Yo, why was I?
Lady was very thankful to Kai, so. I do have arms, like
you have to reach your T-Rex arms around. You know, good for her.
We all from the Midwest. Y'all happen to be from Chicago. I happen to be from Detroit. We all know niggas. I happen to be a nigga. I don't know nan nigga ever just walking around the hood with a hatchet in his backpack.
Well, that's because we're not white.
Or a homeless person. That's terrifying. That's terrifying to think that it just be like niggas asking for rides and also carrying extremely deadly weapons.
Which the director of the person doing the interviews for this said. She was like, you didn't find it odd that he had a hatchet? And he was like, now that you say that.
Right.
Like this nigga just smashed.
Nobody really was talking about the fact that he just randomly had a hatchet at the ready.
And used it on a nigga that was giving him a ride.
Right.
Yeah, like he couldn't have punched him or nothing. Just hatchet to the back of the head. Just
hatchet.
I mean,
they did say that he used the back of the hatchet for the first 2 times, but the third one, he was like that smash, that big smash. Then he fucking hit him with the blade part.
Hate that. Terrible.
So, do you want to get into some background into like who found Kai? who the person was giving the interview, all that stuff like that, right?
Hello,
Y'all's
co-host.
friend is here.
Right.
Hello, co-host. I'm glad she got the memo. We were back.
She heard me. She's learned a new trick. She's learned to shake for treats, and so she thinks she's getting gummy worms.
She's gonna have to get
Okay,
her. Can dogs have gummy worms?
She's not getting any. She thinks she's getting.
Oh, okay.
That's why she's giving me her paw that I didn't ask for, because she thinks she's getting food.
So my mind is always in the gutter, and I was about to be like, "That's disgusting," and then I had to realize I was talking about candy. Never.
Okay, thank you. Get out.
Come on.
Like, do something.
There's somebody in the comments that's got a gummy worm or two before.
BJ, would you like to get into some background?
Raise your hand if you've got a gummy worm. Anyway.
Oh, don't.
There you go. You have a seat. You're doing a lot. Sit down.
Don't do that.
No, thank you. None of that.
At least there wasn't no sour gummy worm.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Just okay. That's enough. That's enough. What background do we get? Do we want to start with chronologically, or do we want to learn about this man?
Let's just go chronologically how the documentary kind of lays everything out. So we can start talking about because this happened in Fresno, February of 2013. And then let's just talk about Jessup and let's just go chronologically, I think.
Okay. Well, this opens, we sit with Jessup Reisbeck. Jessup is a name, certainly.
It is a name, girl.
I was
like, are they saying it wrong?
TV name if I've ever heard one.
That's the town out here. So when I heard it, I was like,
Jessup is like a town.
Yeah, Jessup, Maryland.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So Jessup he's a news reporter in Fresno. He normally does sports, but they're short staffed. So they send him, and basically on the scanner, he hears about a wreck. And so he's like, and they're like, yeah, it's real bad. It's a guy pinned between the cars. And of course, Jessup hops in the car and is like, yeah, story time. And hauls ass to this crash site, which is a whole different situation in itself. But we'll talk about that. So what it is that basically this guy has driven his car into the back of another car, a utility service truck for P&G. And he has smashed
the electric company or some shit, probably.
I think so. Some type of service, water, electric. I think electric. But he basically sandwiches a black electrical worker between the truck and him in the car. And he gets out and he's screaming about
Yes.
Oh, it's pickles. I was like,
no, it's not pickles. They're not pickles.
What is that? What's happening?
Some nigga shit.
What is he? What is it?
What is it? Okra?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That takes me back. Girl, you can't have this. Get back.
All I need is some boiled peanuts. And
I've never had boiled peanuts.
They're interesting.
You're missing out.
It's are they moist? I don't understand. Are they wet? I don't get it.
Yeah. So it's imagine the hard shell of the peanut just being extremely tissue soft.
And then you still gotta crack it.
Yeah, I mean, you just either squeeze it.
Squeeze it like an edamame.
You gotta squeeze them out.
Either squeeze it out, or some people.
Nigga edamame is what I'm hearing.
Yes, and then some people will boil them and then take them out of the shell and then put them in a bottled Coke.
Oh, baby.
I'm sorry.
Listen,
an empty bottle?
No, full Coke.
Nah, in a Coke.
I don't understand what y'all saying.
Listen,
it's a throwback to slavery, like everything in life is.
My Fridays used to be.
Wait, are you eating Tabitha Brown's pickled okra?
I didn't even know Tabitha Brown had her own pickled okra. That's news. I've been eating motherfucking Mount Olive pickled okra since
Mount Olive, because that's the only brand that matters. The pickles, the okra, the jalapenos, because that's what we buy by house.
Big facts.
So we used to eat boiled peanuts, motherfucking the 32-ounce ice house, pickled okra, and motherfucking pig feet every Friday.
Oh, that's such a
quail eggs. Good as fuck, man.
I can't
What
eat no
is
more.
happening, y'all? Like these are things like I've never eaten any of.
You never had pig feet before?
No, for what? Okay, like people
So
like
admittedly,
my
pig
family
feet is a
my
very
family
southern
has-
thing. And
My family has made them. Like I'm not eating that.
Like I won't eat
And-
chitlins, but I suck a knuckle off a pig foot easy.
not you sucking the knuckle.
That-
Your family from that south to Michigan pipeline for them GM jobs is real. It's
right. Niggas was in the transfer
the Alabama
Not air fried
Michigan pipeline is
air
wild.
fry. Who is, you know where that nigga from, right? He's from Ohio. That's
Air
why they
fry.
say silly shit like that. What are you talking about? Listen. Now you got me about to
air
try some
fried.
shit. Now that I thought about it.
I
don't want the essence of pig feet stuck in my air fryer forever.
And who eats fried pig feet anyway?
The slaves ain't had no air fryer.
I didn't even know you could do that to them.
The slaves ain't had no air fryers, so I ain't do that.
A fried pig feet is like, no convection ovens.
Oh my god.
A cast iron skillet and a dream.
Yo, you ever had cow tongue?
And some vinegar.
Y'all niggas ever had cow tongue?
No. What happened?
Oh.
Cow tongue. Not a favorite.
Why would I have that?
Bye. Did you get down? Thank you. Could you
I've seen it at the store. Like, isn't that the lingua?
Yeah.
You can't.
I don't want that.
You can't have
I've had people making it to like tacos, right?
Yes.
Back in the day, that shit used to just get set on my plate like
a tongue. No, nigga.
You gotta cut that bitch out the motherfucking tongue and won't get shit.
Anyway, this man was
back to the story.
This man was pinned between these trucks. It was real dire. Anyway,
I don't know how we got here.
Something about peanuts. So anyway, dude in the car, what's his name? Jet McBride? Because I thought it was Jeff. And then the on-screen text at the end of the documentary said Jet. So I'm like, okay, Jet it is. So Jet McBride is the driver of this car, who is smashed into this black person. And so they're saying that it is racially motivated, right? It's a hate crime. He gets out and he says he's Jesus and that the black people are taking over everything and we got to eradicate the black people. And these two women come to basically his aid. They see it crash. They don't know if this man is like, some type of weird race war initiator with his car. So they get out and try to come help as good Samaritans. Jet McBride jumps out of the car.
He's 6'4", 300 pounds. That's important.
And high as a kite. And gets out of the car. And the lady's like, hey, are you okay? Do you need medical assistance? And he was like, yeah, call the ambulance. But not for me. And so
get over here.
I'm sorry, I'm not making fun of that poor lady's attack. But yeah, he was like,
she's fine.
Okay, well, then I am making fun of it because she's alive.
We are the podcast that make fun out of everybody.
So she's fine, but he bear hugs her and is like choking her out, pulling her hair and shit. Like he's trying to I don't know what I don't know. It was a weird way to start a race war. Like you try to murder a black man and then switch sides to also try to murder a white lady. I don't quite.
He saw a white lady coming to the rescue of a black man.
And he's like, "Oh,
she's a nigger lover.
She's a nigger lover."
Okay, you know what? That makes sense. Makes sense. And so then he starts whooping her ass. And then, he has a hitchhiker in his car. The hitchhiker jumps out after they crash into the truck and is like, "Oh shit, dude, you hit somebody."
Right.
And he's like,
"Oh,
"Oh
I have
shit."
to hit you.
And he was like, "Oh shit, why are you hugging this lady and beating her and pulling her hair?" So then that's when he gets out the hatchet.
And we get our famous meme, our famous gifts, and our famous reels.
Smash. Like I said, the first
gotta go with right. Smash.
So like the first two were with the back of the fucking hatchet. The third one, for some reason, he felt like he needed to up the ante, and he turned it and fucking just cleavered him in the fucking head. The scar was very gnarly.
I mean, it worked.
Was really long. No, it definitely worked. And I feel like I would have been okay at stepping off after the first time. Like, this nigga's hitting me in the head. Like, all right, we good.
Yeah, I think I'd have let go after the first blow. You hit me in the head with a hatchet, I'm gonna just stop doing whatever I'm doing.
The blunt part of a hatchet is like getting hit with the fucking broadside of the hammer.
Yeah, like, it still hurts.
You would think that would have been enough to incapacitate him. You think after the first one he was like, no, I'm gonna let her go, but I guess not.
Hey, he was,
and we can use that for later to fucking have the discussion of what's something else in the weed.
Good question.
Okay, so boom, straight up Dogtown, right? So then that's when we see the interview. So Jessup, like we said, first time he's ever done like regular news. He does like sports and shit. And for some reason, Kai ends up only talking to him. So the interview that we see is the only interview that we got that day from Kai. He straight out told everybody else no, and then that was kind of it. And he was right. Let me see. Pencil.
So they play this, and like the guy that does the recordings, I guess, for the news is like normally posts little videos. They get
Jerry Woods. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Jerry's like, no, he said, I looked at it before I went to bed, 20, 30 views. He was like, okay, great. He said, Jessup calls him the next morning. It's at 500,000 views.
Mm-hmm.
Overnight.
Mm-hmm. We're getting the auto tones.
And
we're getting
remixes.
The hero.
Right.
And when, like, I want to marry him, and, you know, all the crazy cookie stuff that people write under stuff.
So life after lockdown type bitches.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just want to preface this. If you did not see the video at the top of this, or if you're listening to this and not watching it, Kai is white. Like, I'm sorry. I just want to go ahead and preface this and tell y'all he's white. If you did not know this, this is a white homeless
straight out of Dogtown, not give it away.
the only black Kais are girls.
So I was like, it's my daughter.
Right. We all knew Kai was white.
I'm just, some people are oblivious, and I just wanted to let them know that Kai is white before we get any further into this, because what is about to unfold is not black people shit in any way. So I just wanted to make sure we were all on the same page. I don't mean this in a prejudicial way. We just noted how the police are about things, and a black man as a hitchhiker could not be going around hatcheting people, and they'd be like, oh my God, he saved everybody.
He's such a hero.
No. It would not. It would have been a completely different documentary, and I just want to point that out up top. It's not. I'm not a racist. I'm just telling you ahead of time. Not prejudice. I'm just saying that if he was black, this would not be this documentary.
Now that you're giving this preface, I'm literally like listening to your preface, and I just went through the whole documentary in my head, and everything I'm seeing, I'm like, nope, a nigga would have been allowed to do that. Nigga would have been allowed to do that. You're right. You're so fucking right. This would have been like what happened when the black dude say those girls in Ohio. Remember they put that nigga whole rap sheet on the TV and shit, like
for no reason. Like, he's a hero.
Right. The psychic bitch told this girl's mama that she was dead. Remember the bitch used to be on Montel Jordan? I mean Montel Jordan.
Montel Jordan. But yes, I do.
Anyway, Sylvia Brown told that lady that her daughter was dead. This black man said that girl and get her out that basement. All we knew is that nigga like fillet of fish from McDonald's and his rap sheet. That was it.
Speaking of rap sheets, I was hella like in line in front of these like niggas that was trying to like boost at the fucking self-checkout. It did not go well.
I was like, I hope they got it.
They got caught? How you get caught boosting that self-checkout? You gotta be really stupid.
I feel like so I think where they went wrong is that she was trying to act like she was gonna buy something, and she got some like donuts, and she started eating them. And then when she found out how much the donuts were, the lady came over and was like, "Well, you already eaten them."
Right.
So, like they didn't move correctly.
Oh, okay. Well, I hate
That all
that.
sound
They
like
should,
bad
they
news.
should be better at that. That's
If you're gonna steal, you gotta steal properly. Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah,
that's terrible. Like I don't like that. Don't get me wrong. I completely advocate stealing from self checkout. If that's your bag, I'm just don't do it that
if
way.
that's your bag, ring up an apple crisp as a Fiji. So what?
Do whatever you gotta do. I know somebody. I know a lady that was banned from Walmart. So hey, do what you need to do.
The reason Walmart no longer does the sticker thing, I knew somebody that would go and take shit back, and when they would put the sticker on it for it to be replaced, she would always put her thumb up, and so they would put the sticker on her thumb, and she would walk away. And so then she go somewhere else in the store and put that sticker like on a fucking TV box or some shit, and get somebody to put that other shit on the carton roll right the fuck.
That's how Miss Mamas got banned from Walmart. She was returning socks and putting the sticker on generators out of the garden center.
Let's go.
And that is why she is banned from Walmart. Absolutely.
And then probably boosting the generators.
Just that one.
I think multiple, like not just that one, but she got banned from that one and then tried to like take the show on the road and got banned at some other Walmarts. But
okay. So then we meet Brian Mulkey he's a researcher for Jimmy Kimmel. And because this is like right after Kai goes viral, like again, overnight, literally. Right. And they're looking to get him for the show. And then at the same time, we're also introduced to Lisa Samsky, which is who is a reality TV brand manager, and she worked on shows like Keeping Up with the Kardashians. And they wanted to give the nigga that y'all saw in that first clip,
the sporadically strange man, a TV show,
a motherfucking TV show,
mm-hmm.
all off of an interview where this nigga admits to trying to murder somebody.
Mm-hmm.
People got caught up in the fact that he saved the guy. He saved the lady.
Everybody got caught up in it. Jessup got caught up in it. The other nigga got caught up. The cameraman got caught up in it.
Yeah.
Because and I think that it has a lot to do with how his first inspirational message before he got into the story.
Facts.
Yeah, that was really dope. I was like, oh, look at you. Spreading positivity.
Mm-hmm.
And then shit
was he spreading positivity? Or was that nigga just high?
See, and now
sometimes that's the same thing, Penrose.
Yeah, sometimes you can want to like be positive. Like, doesn't getting high doesn't that help you be more positive about the situation?
I should know. Anyway.
Exactly. Okay.
No. I mean, but then went straight out of Dogtown to straight out of Dogtown. But when you do anything, make sure you do. Like, hold on, brother.
Believe in yourself, bitch.
Believe in yourself. Out of Dogtown.
313. Put your hands up and follow me. Like,
they are looking for Kai. Everybody's looking for Kai. Everybody wants a piece of Kai. Kai ain't got shit but an email address.
Person.
Yeah, Kai ain't got shit but an email address. And so they are like, well, we know one person who talked to him. We're gonna go through Jessup. So now they spamming Jessup email like Fashion Nova after Christmas sale.
Hurry up and say 15% before my manager get back from lunch. What?
I know they said it was a hate crime, but it would be a hate crime for you not to get on these jeans sales. You go 50% off on all our Fashion Nova brand jeans. Like, come on. They're the worst. My God.
RIP to Takeoff, but our lingerie sale is gonna have stuff to make you to take off. Like, what the fuck?
Like, what is going on? It's so bad. The messages are horrible. And then if you go click on it to look at something, then you click out and they're like, hey babe, you forgot something, just like that man forgot his baby was in the car. Like it's like, you forgot, save 50% now. And it's like,
oh my god.
You know what? I do want to say 50%, but
and then you'd be like, you know what? Let me just close this one and see if another crime will happen and they'll give me 70.
They'll give me a better deal.
Give me a better vibe, right?
Maybe it was vibe check. See, you know,
maybe
for that Amber Alert. Search on these fucking 2-piece fucking bathing suits. Like,
what? Barbara Walters died today at 98% off.
For real.
Buy one, get one, 98%. Yeah, they would do some shit like that. They're looking for Kai, like the sales. And Jessup finally is like, well, let's try to get in touch with him. And so he's emailing Kai. He's the only person that has the email. So he's the only person with access to Kai. He's emailing Kai.
That's the inside scoop.
Looking for him, you know, like, hey, everybody's looking for you. You have all these deals, all these people asking about you. You know, I want to be honest in talking to you about all of this, whatever. And so he's like, but, you know, before everybody makes you rich and famous, I want to get an interview with you. And so Kai's like, great, I'm in Stockton. And he's like, okay.
Right.
and his boss is like, do whatever the fuck you need to do. Get up there, fucking... and find this dude.
He's like, look, I don't know if you have a wife and a baby, but get your ass the fuck up to Stockton. Like, you need to kiss your baby goodnight, put him in the car, put your wife in the trunk. I don't care. Get Stockton. He's like, I really don't care, but you need to be there to like get him. And so they get to Stockton and they like see Kai like jaywalking or some shit like across the street to go get some cigs. And they're like, oh,
like,
shit,
he's a real homeless nigga. Like, he don't ever be in the same place. Like,
they was like, yeah, we're gonna get him a hotel room and put him up and talk to him real nice after he gets a bath and stuff and gets all dressed up like and he was like, nah, I'm gonna do homeless person shit. And so then they had to go catch him and like grab his ass out of the crosswalk and
literally.
Yeah, shit.
And they didn't even take him to the hotel and give him a bath like Curly Sue. They just
took him to the park and did an interview.
Didn't he get him money? Didn't he? Oh no, that was something else. That was never mind.
No,
that's Jimmy Kimmel. That's Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah. Okay.
So then they do like a little B-roll, which they have him like playing guitar in this guitar shop, playing the B-roll, sing a little song, playing guitar, and they were like, "Yeah, and he was really good." And I'm like, "See, I feel like your judgment's clouded here because
this real man,
like not bad, but like not like." RCA record deal talent, like the kind of talent you get, like if you go on America's Got Talent, like not
right. So I want to just point something out real quick. I feel like it might be important to say before we get too deep in this. One thing about Kai, and I think it's something else that people found very charismatic, and to the point where again, the fact that he was carrying a hatchet is just we're not gonna worry about that. Is the fact that he would do stuff like go to grocery stores and steal a whole cart full of food. And then go take it to people that were homeless and needed it outside. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like things like that. And then we'll get into an incident with the Jimmy Kimmel episode or scene where he does too. He again does something very selfless, you know what I'm saying, that he really didn't fucking have to do. You know what I'm saying?
It's but very Robin Hood, and people appreciate that.
But after
again,
doing his Robin Hood deeds, that nigga turns around and does some like Beavis and Butthead shit every single fucking time. You know?
So I mean, yeah. So Kai basically is telling these people he has no family. He's on his own. It's been that way. Anybody that knows him, you know, whatever, they think
he's dead.
Right. So, like I said, yeah, he was playing the guitar in the place, and they was like, oh, he was just really good, and he had a song, and he had written it himself, and it was so good, and I'm just like, okay.
So then after the interview's over, they go eat.
Right. They like, we'll feed you. Come, have food.
Mm-hmm. And he's like, yo, I got all these emails. Niggas is on your dick, bro. You have an opportunity to stop being homeless, like, right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could, like, change your whole fucking life. Here are the things that people are throwing at you. And he was like, what I would really like to do, though, is just, like, go to the Bay Area and just get mad high. I just want to smoke some weed. And they like, what?
I was like,
you know what I said? The niggas from the Kardashians want to do a show about you.
Right now.
Like, he's like, well, I don't know. So he's like spinning this fucking, what was he spinning?
Golf pencil. It's a golf pencil.
A little tiny golf pencil. and he's like spinning it around, and however it spun, he was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go and smoke weed in the bay." So I want to hear it. Like, and that was it.
And that was it. He did.
Oh well, I wanted to show y'all just in case you needed a visual. So Kai had decisions. He could either be rich and famous, or he could go to the Bay Area and smoke weed.
We about to hold on. Oh, damn. Wrong person. You.
Vermeet. I'm still thirsty, by the way.
There we go. Boom.
I told you. Yeah. So see, Kai had options. He could, he could either be rich and famous, or he go to the Bay Area and smoke weed. He spun the pencil and chose this one. But just in case you need like a visual of what he was doing.
You know what this reminds me of? Remember the books back in the day? If you want to follow the giant down the path, go to page 33.
You just want to go to the Bay Area and smoke weed, go to page 101.
I know that's right. Choose your own adventure, Kai. I know that's right. You better choose an adventure.
And he was out, and he did that for a second. And the Kardashian producers was like, "What the fuck? Like, nigga, we will send you a whole limousine full of weed. Like, if you're trying to smoke, nigga, like, we have the smoke for you." Like,
right.
And he was like, "For real?"
But let's talk about, because I know we keep saying that these people wanted to give him a TV show, and I know y'all saw that interview, and you're like, "Do we want to give him a TV show though?" But what they were trying to do was they thought that Kai could give them, because Kai seemed like a person that was okay with being homeless, right? And they wanted to give the world a side of homelessness that people haven't seen, where people are happy and thriving, or happy in whatever the fuck as homeless people. I don't know. Yes,
what, the Kardashian show?
Yes,
no, his show.
Right, that's what. Well, not the Kardashian show, but the show.
Yes, his show. That was the purpose. That's what it was gonna be like, to like showcase like homeless people that are cool with being homeless.
No, here's the thing. It's very much influencer culture before there was such a thing, right? Because you have these people that are doing like van life. Oh, I just drive around in my van and I tricked out my old VW and I'm just on the road living this carefree life. Like, it's very much like gypsy nomadic lifestyle. And they're wanting to sanitize it to make people feel better about the fact that there are millions of homeless people who are not, in fact, happy about fucking being homeless.
Right.
Like, it was very, like, that part just kind of like pissed me off, because it's very exploitative. Could you move?
I mean, I had a homie back in the day who, for real,
like, I get it. Some people are fine with those circumstances. In his mind, he's smoking weed, traveling around, surfing, whatever. But which we'll find out later. So I'm not going to give that part away if you haven't seen this. But his idea of what homelessness is, and people that are really in homelessness in a way that is them being impoverished and destitute and not wanting this for themselves, whether it be drugs or mental illness or whatever, is not the clean, sanitized version they were going to put on the air. So again, because he's white and he was like, "Oh, believe in your dreams," before he went to smashing somebody in the head with a hatchet. It's palatable for white America.
Vermeet, can you put the rest of your head in the view of the camera?
So is that bothering you?
I don't know why that shit bothering me.
I'm so sorry.
And what was so funny is that the person that they thought Kai was, he wasn't, right?
Right.
No. Okay. So let's see.
So
she goes. So Lisa,
they want him on Kimmel.
Yes. So Lisa's like, "We'll get you a fucking a limousine full of weed." He's like, "All right, then, cool." And so Jessup, before the TV stuff goes, Jessup really still remember, this is the original interviewer.
Right.
He still really wants him to do Kimmel, right? I think it'll be a good opportunity. He wants him to do it. So Lisa's like, "Cool." And she decides that she's going to be the one to take him, right? Mostly because he don't have no ID, so he can't even get on no fucking kind of transportation. So a nigga got to actually put him in a car and drive him themselves.
They make you ID for Greyhound?
Girl, I don't
know. That's a good question.
I'm saying there's a lot of shady shit going on in the Greyhound. I didn't think they was making I thought you just buy a ticket and get on. They just check the ticket.
It's a lot of shit going on. You're right.
I thought they just checked the ticket. I didn't think you had to have no ID to ride the Greyhound.
I can't remember. I really can't remember.
I said so long ago. Last time I rode Greyhound, I was like 10, so I don't remember. But
right.
Yeah, they get in the car, which is crazy because I would have no, not myself. I'd maybe sent somebody else, but not myself personally.
Was Uber out? Was Uber out yet? Yeah, right. No,
2013. I mean, I guess you could Uber. I don't know.
Uber,
I don't know. We're so far removed from there not being shit that I don't remember when the shit came to me.
Uber was just a dope ass word. But then again, Uber started in Cali, so it might have been out there.
Mm-hmm. But I'm saying,
I guess they can pay a taxi to drive him from fucking Stockton to LA. So
yeah.
So they go pick him up, and we meet JR, who I guess is like a talent. I didn't quite get what JR did.
Me neither.
He was a nigga that just wanted to be in the documentary. Just so happened.
I think he like works with Lisa, or might be Lisa's boss, or somebody to be like helping Lisa do, like, I don't know. Like, I gather he's one of those people that's like the show idea person, and like you have to pitch the ideas to him, and he's like, nah, I don't think that'll work. He's that person, I think. So JR, honestly, realest person in the entire goddamn documentary. JR does not have the goddamn blinders on. He don't have no rose-colored glasses. He straight out the gate. Well, when I met him, he smelled like alcohol. JR hit the goddamn screen running. Like, nope, he stunk, reeked of alcohol.
He even said when he first saw the video, because he didn't even know who the kid was. When he watched the video, he was like, "Y'all not concerned that this nigga
had a hatchet and just hit somebody
or whatever." Like,
and this nigga just busting niggas in the head, and all of a sudden somehow, I think about it. We all been fought somebody before. Some of us have hit people with certain things. Shit just don't slip over in your hand and turn a full 180.
No, that time I hit that lady with my shoe, I had a firm grip on the shoe. I hit it with the same part every time.
You know what I mean? And when you hitting somebody with something, we all got that one hand motion shit where you can just twist it. Yeah, that nigga. Jay, you're right. JR probably was the smartest nigga because it's like, bro.
No, there are just some people that have a very good sense of people, right? And I think when you work in show business, you have to have that. You have to be able to tell if that person has the je ne sais quoi. And he just was like, no, he's a drunk. He's an erratic drunk. This is not going to work. JR knew, like he just knew. Yeah, so, but again, he knew, but he was like, yeah, but we don't want anybody else to like film your drunk antics. So we need you to sign this contract on the dashboard with no, with no attorney present. So just sign this.
And he signed it in like symbols.
Which is insane because, you know what, we'll talk about why that's slightly insane later.
This nigga signed this shit in hieroglyphs. Like, the fuck?
He signed it like when your child is first learning to like draw things. Like you haven't taught them their name or any words and they don't know letters, but they like just are scribbling shit on the like when they draw you a picture, but they don't know how to spell anything yet. That's exactly what
that is the best motherfucking analogy because this nigga's name is 3 letters and that page was full.
It was like Egyptian hieroglyphics for like surfers. Like it was very odd. It was like a 9-character block on there, and I was like, is it bird or like? It was a lot of letters.
This nigga was like, if Patrick Swayze's character in Point Break was a drug addict drunk, that would be kind.
It was a lot of symbols. So this is when shit gets crazy, right? So they get to Hollywood. Lisa's like, let me go valet the car. She tells the other guy whose name I didn't get.
Watch this dude. Oh, right. Isn't he the cameraman from Jessup still?
No, that's somebody else.
No, it was some.
He might be their camera person or somebody.
I thought it was Kimmel homeboy, that the nigga that was like.
Oh yeah, was it him?
Yeah, somebody from Kimmel. She's like, here, just watch him, and they're on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, right? She goes to park the car, and he's like, well, he's a grown man. I wasn't gonna watch him, and she was like, no, watch him. He didn't watch him close enough because he pulled his dick out and started peeing on the side of a hotel on Hollywood Boulevard. And he peed on Julio Iglesias' star.
Yeah.
which is terrible because Julio Iglesias made great music. Why is you mad at Enrique Daddy?
Anything to nobody.
Like, why is you mad at Enrique Daddy? He ain't did nothing.
Not like that nigga did something to him in a past life or some shit.
It's like pissing on, like if you peed on Santana's star. You ain't got to do that.
Like, damn you, Kai.
Right.
Okay, so
He's gonna see Maria no more.
So they need to get him to the Roosevelt Hotel. And the Roosevelt Hotel is a pretty fucking popular hotel in LA, right? Like it's where I would feel like most of like all the famous people you could probably think of on your like top of your head have probably stayed at the Roosevelt, right? Like
everybody except Elisa Lam.
Oh, should have. Okay. Well, so they go in.
Look, wait. You seen that gift and take off, and that nigga just like.
That's true. So Kai, they go to they get in the hotel room. Nice hotel. This nigga goes straight for the mini bar. And it's interesting that they call it a mini bar.
Because it's not. Ain't nothing mini about the bar.
It was a full-size bar because all of the bottles were full-size. He grabs a bottle of Jack and starts drinking it like it's Coca-Cola. Like Fuller in Home Alone. Just guzzling away, right?
Fuller used to drink a lot of block.
Fuller was a fucking.
Yo, he just took me back. Yeah.
I just
He was like, I don't want to sleep with Fuller. He pees in the bed.
Fuller. Yeah, all right, Fuller had them big ass.
And he had the cup to his mouth, like, you know what I'm talking
about.
Just guzzling.
You can expect to pee in about 45 minutes.
Kai just bless his heart, like a drunk. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So he done turned the Jack up. He jumping on these people's beds and shit. And they're like, well, hey, we gotta go do the thing. They're like, we're gonna get some food. Instead of them ordering room service to contain Eloise at the plaza upstairs. Instead of them doing that,
that was good.
Right.
Instead of them doing that, they decided we'll take him out to piss on some more things.
And Pissy did.
So he takes his skateboard down to the lobby and skateboard through these people's lobby, and they were just like, y'all gotta leave, and he can't come back in here and get your shit. They was like, this is a classy joint, and he is not welcome.
Right.
And so then he gets outside and tries to throw a knife into the ground.
And I don't even understand that.
Right.
Like, what? Like, is that he's angry?
That's what I'm saying. With so many people overlook shit. At this point, we're not even overlooking it for the hero story. These white folks is overlooking shit because they're trying to make money off this man at this point. Mm-hmm. A nigga, a couple days ago, weeks ago, just hit somebody in the head with a hatchet.
Mm-hmm. And if you're willing to ignore that, you're also willing to ignore the fact that he exposed himself in public, pissed on the side of a building, went upstairs, jumped on these people's shit,
drank a bottle of Jack,
replaced the bottle of Jack Daniels, came downstairs, and then tried to knife throw a fucking pocket knife into the concrete.
Come on. Right. Not even into some grass or some shit. Just like literally concrete. You're throwing a knife. Do we know where this nigga got this knife from? I don't think he had it with him.
You don't check this from a nigga that was wielding a fucking hatchet?
You think they would? You think before they got in the car, they would have been like, "Do you have any weapons?
Can we have them, please?"
But again, because they were so blinded by this is a way for us to make money, they aren't doing the necessary things. Because even Lisa says, "Well, you know, I've been around celebrities and they do some crazy stuff, but none of them acted like this."
And yet,
nobody called him.
That's something that I definitely.
And then her crazy ass decides it would be good for him to stay at her house.
That's exactly what I was about to talk about.
And Lisa lives alone.
Before we get there, so Kimmel, and he doesn't seem super excited to do Kimmel, but it's whatever, right? Mm-hmm. They pull up to Kimmel. Guess what this nigga do? Can anybody guess?
Anybody in the comments? Can you guess what Kai did?
And you guess what Kai did when he got to Jimmy Kimmel? Remember, he's done this one thing like 3 times already in the story.
And Kai is like your second child. If all of y'all that got multiple children, Kai's like that second kid. The one you love, but you know he's about to piss you off at least 3 times
Can't
today.
stop him from doing destructive things. Guys, he shows up to Jimmy Kimmel and pisses all over a Jimmy Kimmel poster, like with his name, or like a fucking banner with his name on it and shit. Security guard comes over.
This shit looks like a fucking publicity stunt because you catch this nigga. This nigga is looking back at the fucking camera, smiling with the peace stream. Like you caught the live stream, like
that Calvin and Hobbes sticker on fucking white trucks.
When he's peed on everything, yeah.
Yes. So he's peeing on the thing. Security's like, yo, my nigga, you cannot do that. Like, please do not do that. So then he goes inside. Jimmy gives Kai an envelope with $500 in it, and in natural homeless Robin Hood, he hands it over to the security guard and goes, yo, my bad for pissing on that sign.
Keep in mind, this is not even the security guard's sign. This is a sign that they got made at the Kinko's. The production company, not even Jimmy. It's not even Jimmy Kimmel's sign. It's just the production company when it got this made at the Kinko's, and he was like, "Hey, security guy, here's $500 because I peed on a sign that doesn't belong to you or anybody you're affiliated with or your employer. Love you so much. Sorry for the inconvenience of having somebody else have to come hose down the sign because you probably
because you ain't gonna
where was Hector? What's the nigga name? What's this little Spanish nigga on Jimmy Kimmel that always be fucking with LeBron?
I don't know, but I know you're talking about.
What was that nigga during all this?
I don't know.
Guillermo? Was that his name? Guillermo?
Yeah, Guillermo. Where the fuck was Guillermo? I feel like Guillermo would have hung out with motherfuckers.
I've watched 5 episodes of Jimmy Kimmel. Amazing. Yes.
Proud of you.
Yay.
So then it's like a couple hours before the show, and the police show up, and Kai is taken into custody.
Which is crazy when you think about it, because they subpoenaed this man, and then they had to show, and they showed up there like it was a drug bust. Like they raided Kimmel. And the way they made it look is like
thank you.
Yep, yay. And they made it seem like because at that point I thought that the thing that we're gonna find out later is what they were coming to get him for. And I was like, see, they didn't talk about what happened. How are they arresting him? And then I realized it was because they had subpoenaed him to testify. But it's like
about the car shit.
But but how you gonna subpoena him to test? Like you had to arrest him because he's homeless, or what?
I mean, because maybe they couldn't find this nigga, like, and so when they
but that's not his fault. Like if you subpoena a homeless man
because of a subpoena,
just like what is he supposed? How is he supposed to know you're looking for him? I guess would be.
And he's a vagrant, right? Like this nigga
how the fuck would he know that you're looking for him because you want to subpoena him to testify? Because assuming he gave you a statement, and if you took his statement and realized he was the only other person to corroborate the statement and you needed him to testify, why wouldn't you tell him, we need you to hang around the area?
Where'd you send this subpoena the first time? For you to be running up on me, that means I had to deny or ignore
fucking notices.
But they go like arrest him to get this statement, damn near. And he better than me because at the point you arrested me, I'd have been like, well, I don't care what the fuck happened. You can let me out of here.
Right.
Just off the strength that you came to Kimmel embarrassed me, bitch. I don't know nothing about nothing.
Right.
So 30 minutes
me in front of Jimmy Kimmel and Guillermo. Fuck that.
30 minutes before the show, they bring him back, and he goes on the show, and it's kind of a disaster.
It's kind of a train wreck. I didn't understand what was going on. Was he drinking that okra juice?
Is that what's happening?
He was drinking that okra juice.
I started to pull it up to play it, but it's just like chaotic. Kimmel's doing a skit where he's picking up a homeless dude, and it's obviously Kai. And he's just trying to ask him about like the situation, but Kai is just like all over the fucking place. and he just says some really like outlandish stuff.
Something about being rich and fat, and Jimmy Kimmel was like, "Yeah, I'm one of those people."
You're sitting next to one of those people, like, but Jimmy did a really good job, like corralling it. I will give him kudos for that.
Yeah, like he really just kind of made it into still like something, but I guess he has experience with like people not wanting to answer questions or being kind of combative. I'm sure people have shown up drunk or high or whatever, so I'm sure this is not his first rodeo.
Not his first rodeo, right?
So at the end, they give Kai like a surfboard and a wetsuit, and it's just like I'm sure he has 1,000 surfboards and wetsuits, but whatever.
Right, because people were like literally trying to give him all that stuff when they saw his original so. And
they're trying to get him to do like movie reviews, and this
they have to bring him back the next night, basically,
to do like these movie shorts. And so the guy is like basically saying, he was like, they were saying they wanted to do a show, and he was like, I just, it didn't make sense because he doesn't have the attention span for it. He was like, they went from watch this to watch a little of it to watch the trailer, and they just could not get him to sit still and focus long enough to watch anything. Didn't he say 0 Dark 30 was about them putting fluoride and chemicals in the water?
Exactly what he said.
And I was like, honestly, probably. Knowing this government, there probably is some Operation CIA 0 Dark 30 in the water. Like,
yo, they put fluoride in the on the subject, off the subject. Y'all don't remember that little they show those little packs? You know how you get like the 2-ounce bottle, but they sell them in like a 12 or 24 pack, and they used to the package, it would be for kids, and it would have like kids playing soccer on it, and it literally
little
water
bottles.
Yeah, and it had pink writing on it, and it was purified water with fluoride. And I used to remember the
fluoride part.
I swear to God, I'm like, why the fuck are y'all giving this to your children? Fluoride's good for you, nigga. You ain't never your dentist has told you to spit every drop of toothpaste you never had in your motherfucking mouth. What do you mean? Fluoride good for you. You tell a nigga Hitler gave the Jews fluoride in the concentration camps, and niggas is like, our government would never. All right.
Okay. It's in the top water, I think, right? Don't they say it's in the top water?
A lot of it was leaked. They were doing fucking experiments and blowing shit up in the 50s and 60s, and they were giving all these people's children cancer from fucking bombs. So they had to kind of level it out. So they were like, so we can't like fix the cancer, but we can make sure all of their teeth don't fall out from the radiation.
But digesting fluoride fucks your brain up. It makes you fucking, I almost said the R word, but
racist?
Are you okay? Well, why did you say it? Oh my God. Yeah, racist. Racist. Yeah.
All right.
Fluoride makes you racist. That's fine. Fluoride makes you racist. Let's go.
Fluoride makes you racist.
Oh.
like Jada's mama read. It makes you racist. Yeah, sure.
I don't like.
Well, now we're in Fresno.
They make him testify, and he gets up there, and I guess it's compelling testimony.
It was a lot of shit. He told
him a story. It was a lot. Something about rape. The guy, he said
that McBride and him smoked a joint. And then he said that the driver mentioned, and so the driver said that Kai told him that he bet if they could drive through the truck that they ran.
Because they were ghosts. And they could drive through the truck and nobody would even know.
So I guess he did it.
Yeah, so there's ghost people, ghost truck, ghost car.
Right.
Because smoking weed makes you a ghost.
That's fluoride makes you racist.
Yeah. So Jeff Jett said that he said, yeah, I could do it totally. We're ghosts. So they tried to drive through the car. So he's saying basically this was not a racially motivated hate crime. He just was high and listened to a homeless hitchhiker tell him that he was a ghost and he could drive his car through another truck.
Mm-hmm.
I I thought this was interesting because the officer Jeff Stricker was like, oh, well, he's not innocent in this. He has some culpability. And I was like, does he?
Does he though? Right.
Because this nigga pinned a black person to a fucking car and tried to attack another person, so he could technically just say anything, right?
Right. Like I was just like, yeah, like I was like, I don't know how culpable a hitchhiker in your car is for you believing that you're a ghost. Like people have bet me a lot of things, and I'm just like, no, thank you. I'm not gonna take that. Like, why would you?
But we'll put a pin in that because later on we find out why he might have really thought that he was a ghost.
True.
Right? Okay.
Fair.
Kai also says during the trial that McBride told him that he raped a 14-year-old girl. And Kai tells Jake Jessup in that initial interview, remember that he did something similar where he like attacked he said there was a guy that attacked a lady and basically he smashed on him too, but with his hands, right?
Right.
Okay. And then let me see. So McBride, as far as like the trial happening, he got convicted of assault with a deadly weapon, and he got sentenced to 9 years in a mental facility.
Which leads me to believe that okay, yeah.
Go ahead. Believe that.
Which leads me to believe that like you just had some weed. Like we get like these statements from other just purposes because we get these statements from other people saying that maybe he says that Kai is bragging and saying that he laced the weed with a bunch of shit.
Right.
And then so they're saying, well, maybe he was high on all these drugs because the joint was laced or whatever, and that's why he thought that. And it's like, but if that was the case, why would they sentence him to 9 years in a mental facility? He already was having some type of episode, and the weed made the episode
rid of all the minorities and shit. So
yeah, like the weed just enhanced whatever his thoughts were. Like I don't think there was anything else going on with the weed except for that he didn't need to be smoking it.
Right.
And so we meet some singer,
Gabriel Francisco,
from some band, the Red Rose, some shit,
the Red Coats.
That's even worse than what I thought it was. Great.
It is pretty bad.
So yeah, like he's the Red Coats.
Oh, okay.
A Hispanic man is the lead singer
of the Red Coats.
Anybody else? I know y'all catch the irony.
Anybody see any problems with this?
That's why I thought it was the Red Rose because the Red Coats didn't.
I rewound it because I was like,
the Red Coats didn't make sense.
That's like a white boy going.
It won't. That's
like a white boy going to his woke mother and being like, "Mom, we started a rap group called the Niggers," and she's like, "Okay, no." Nobody nobody in this Hispanic family was like, "Hey, you sure?"
So Gabriel basically and his manager, the manager of the club where he's supposed to be doing these paid gigs, they're basically basically this whole part is them talking about how they thought Kai had bad vibes. Like they just thought the vibes are off. He was very braggy. He was telling them that he had laced the joint.
But they wanted him to perform because they wanted the following.
Right. This was the dude that was admitting that he was scared to stand on stage with the motherfucker and take the picture and everything, right?
But then took the picture.
Yeah.
And then took the picture.
Well, I was concerned about the fallout. So again, like this is the part where I admit this was a hard watch because it just felt like a bunch of people with that hindsight is 2020. Oh, he's a horrible person. I just knew from the moment I talked to him that there was something off, and I just knew it was bad vibes. And it's like, no, you didn't. You saw dollar signs because you saw a cutesy fucking news story that you thought you could make money off of, and now that has done what he's done, now this is what you have to say. But if none of this would have ever happened, you wouldn't have said shit about no bad vibes.
Right. Now, this also goes to show this nigga was one of the biggest stories ever in the last 10, 15 years. But don't send somebody to do a job they're not designed to do. Jessup is a sports reporter. Right? You sent the sport reporter.
He doesn't pick up bad vibes, nigga. He pick up bad fouls. Like,
right. That nigga didn't see what's that shit that Scott Van Pelt had bad beats or whatever. Like, that's all these niggas know. He's a sports guy, bro. Don't send this nigga out there to go do a real motherfucking like. And then you send a sports guy to go do a traffic story. And most people, hey, what up, Tim? Most people would have stuck on the traffic story. Most people would have been like, yeah, somebody got like hit by a car or whatever. Dude got pinned or whatever. They would not have gone that deep into Kai's story. No. Jessup is like, bitch, it's Tuesday. I'm bored. It's
a slow news day, baseball, whatever. He was not interested.
Right.
So this is when we find out that Kai is in like New York. This is May now. And he posted this Mother's Day message where he was like, his family locked him in the room and he found like this horrific child abuse. And apparently he told Jessup this as well. He tells Jessup that he was raped at 17 by some guy. And he saw a crow fly over him and the crow whispered, "Get up and make your escape. Fight for your life." And so he does. And manages to get away from the person. And then Jessup proceeds to tell us, oh, well, you know, he told me all those things, but I couldn't put that on, you know, the news.
And the local news, like.
See, I feel like you could have, because, you know, if it bleeds, it leads, right? Like, you could talk about people being murdered, but this man can't tell you about the horrific abuse that he suffered as a homeless person.
Right.
That's a good point.
I don't know. Like I said, everybody here is trying to make a buck except for Kai, and they have some wild takes and some revisionist history going on to me. But okay. This we find out that Kai's real name is Caleb.
Right.
And we meet the guy. I didn't catch the gentleman's name with the glasses.
It was a lot. It was Jeremy McGovery Wolf.
Right.
Well, yeah. My first cousin.
Big cousins, yeah.
Do you know who we also meet? Who do we also meet?
Kai's mammy.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
Remember when Kai had said that he didn't have no family and they thought he was dead?
Well, he just said they're all.
Okay, thank you. Okay, it was familiar. It could be very much so. I'll let that slide. I just thought he was high, but you're right.
Okay, y'all let him.
What?
Okay, so
he said, "What?" Don't worry about it. It's okay.
Out. Right, my bad.
It's okay. Don't worry about it.
Heroes is just pretty. Sometimes this pretty face will.
It's all good.
So
Shirley,
his family never really knew him as Kai. They only call him Caleb. And his cousin was very adamant to be like,
I just caught it. Never mind, my bad.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's familiar.
Yeah, I just caught it.
So, and his cousin's very adamant to be like, well, like we did care about him or whatever. And apparently Kai's parents split when he was 4 years old. And you know, that just like shatters like white people. Like divorce and like separation from parents, just it destroys white kids. I don't understand why. Anyway, so his cousin did confirm that Kai's mom would lock him in a room. And sometimes he said that she'd even try to lock him in a room. They didn't live in the same house apparently, but pretty close. And like the windows would be blacked out and stuff like that, right? And his mom sent him to like a boys' home at 13 after he tried to start a fire, or he started a fire, right? Caleb, and then his brother, his fucking cousin says that he thinks that he's suffering from a mental illness. Do you guys think that Kai suffers from a mental illness?
Fuck yeah. And a lot of alcohol. Oh, we meant back then.
Mm-hmm. I mean, now.
Which his mom kind of says that they, and the mom, Shirley, we meet her, and her, I guess, explanation for this is that she's saying that he was not abused, right? She's saying that he was doing shit that could hurt himself or others, and then he would be up early in the morning when he knew everybody else was asleep so that he could do the shit. And so she was locking the bedroom door so that he couldn't get out and do the shit before somebody was up to supervise him.
Because rebuttal that Weird.
You're fine, babe. Thank you for coming in.
Little
I don't know, y'all. Shirley was doing a lot of stuttering for me. I don't know how I feel.
Right, because little cuz said, "Hey,
I never. Little cousin was like, she tried to lock me in the fucking room.
Hey, we can hear the kids outside playing. What are you doing?"
And so I think it is a combination of things, right? I think that there was some abuse and neglect there. I think that he probably was a lot to handle. And instead of her trying to get some type of help or assistance or something like that, she was locking him in the room because she couldn't handle him.
Right. That's
and so then when you have an additional child over there and you can't handle either of them together and they're being chaotic, then she's trying to lock somebody else's kid in the goddamn room.
I don't even think they was really being chaotic. I mean, Caleb was probably on some fuck shit, but I think what he said was honest. Like, you talking about because again, little cuz don't seem like he like crazy or nothing. So when Kai was like, yo, when he remember he said that his reasoning that he felt like he was locked up was so they could be out there fucking when they wanted to. They didn't have to deal with him. Now I can see the mama's point, and we talking about a different. Actually, not really a different type of time. Yeah, I guess so. Because Kai, he'd be. How old is that dude now? He probably is like
early 2000s.
When he was a kid.
I mean, when this was happening, like he got sent to a boys' home at 13. So.
I guess.
How old is he? We don't know how old he is.
Yeah, that's what I don't understand. Right, I don't know. So, what I was getting at was like, there was some times like back in the 90s where you might go to somebody's house and be like, who the fuck is beating on all them doors in there? And somebody got their kid locked up because the kid's just crazy. That's that happened before. But I'm inclined to believe the kid's over the mom because you're right. Mom stuttered a lot.
She just stuttered a hell of a lot.
And she laughed at some shit you're not supposed to laugh at, Oh,
and that's with the fact that they had him sent away at 13, right? But you're sitting here having this interview, full well knowing that you just kind of gave your kid to the state, like at 13.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And she's not really giving any type of explanation for that, which I'm not saying everybody has to explain their decisions to me, but like it's just if you're gonna sit down and do the interview, which is something I really get annoyed with it in documentaries. If you're gonna sit down and give the interview, give the fucking interview, right? Like it's too late now. You're not gonna get on here and half-ass me because it's not gonna make you look better to sit here and say, "Oh no, none of that ever happened." With his first cousin, it's like, "Well, actually, yeah, it did." Then you don't explain none of your decisions. Like, sister, it's not.
They gave her 2 racks in the pocket,
sister. And she does mention that. She felt that generally Caleb was too trusting, and she feels like a lot of times he ended up trusting the wrong people. I thought that was interesting that she said that.
Girl, yeah, because he was trusting you to take care of him, sis.
Right, but I think that even though I don't think she did a super great job at being a parent, I think that she still kind of cares about him.
Well, yeah, because you see, she wrote him in prison.
Yeah, and he don't want to see her, which is probably because she was.
Which is why you can't believe the shit she says.
What do I know? Anyway, so let's go back to the present. Let's go to New Jersey.
What you want me to do?
In May 13th, 2013. This is only 3 months after Kai went viral, right?
Mm-hmm.
They find 73-year-old Joseph Galfi, right?
Yeah, so Joseph Galfi is an attorney in New Jersey. And basically, his neighbor Bob gets a call from his law secretary or clerk. And she's like, hey, he was supposed to be in court. He is not here. That is unlike him. Could you go check? So dude was like, I'm gonna just go, that's my neighbor. I'm gonna go check on him. He goes over there. He sees that his newspapers from Sunday and Monday are still out on the porch. And they're saying that's unusual for him because he's somebody that keeps the routine. So if he had been home, the papers wouldn't have been on the stoop. Mm-hmm. Which funny story, I have some neighbors who I did not see their cars or their children for like a week and a half. And I started to get concerned and almost called the police, but they're back now.
I was going to ask, is this just like a once we get older and kids about well-to-do shit? Because 2 newspapers were on his shit and they was like, do a wellness check. Remember the little before we got, I right, y'all from the same area I'm from. Remember the little shits the niggas used to walk down the street and put on on your grandma's the little shit on the porch with the rubber band and the little sales paper? If 2-3 of those end up on your grandma's porch, are we sending a motherfucking?
No, but I think it's more so that like. Right, but I think it was a combination of things. It wasn't just the papers. Like the papers were unusual.
Oh, and then he hadn't showed up to work. He was supposed to be in court.
That was what it was. He's a lawyer and he was due in court. So when he didn't show up to court and didn't answer anybody's calls, then they were like, well, something's off. But also, I think he subscribed to the New York Times, and that's a paid subscription. They don't just drop that off. That's why they was like, nah, it wouldn't be there.
Money over here.
Right. He would have gotten it and read it. So that's why they were like, something is off here. I think it was more of a routine being broken than it was the actual papers. But anyway, they go in there and he's dead. Dead as doorknob. Yeah, he was dead.
In the master bedroom. No forced entry. The house has not been ransacked or like robbed.
Nope.
Right.
But they did find his computer, and they had a little notey note on there that said Lawrence Kai. And then they said train ticket. And they was like, okay, we're going to do a little detective work. We're going to go to the train station, see what's going on. And they catch him on video, and he is there buying a train ticket with Kai Caleb. And so they're like, well, we got to find him. So then they realize, oh shit, it's
Mother's Day. Right?
Yeah, he bought the ticket on Mother's Day. Yeah.
So then they realize, oh shit, that's the dude from the video. So they call up the Fresno back to the first officer, Stricker, and they're like, hey, remember that guy that y'all had out there, the homeless one? We think he did a murder. Could you send us everything you have on him?
Right.
And they were like, you mean Kai?
You talking about
the one with the hatchet?
Straight out of Dogtown?
Jimmy Kimmel Kai?
Right. Talking about Pissarisser? That guy? No, not
that guy.
Not Kai.
What's the Cat Williams special murder? Who did he murder?
They really tried to call the phone number and the phone was dead. So then that's when they released the info to the public as well as reaching out to the other police department. And then that's when Jessup is like, let me reach out to my homie. Let's figure out what's happening. But he didn't really answer at first, right?
Right.
Or at all. Did he answer at all?
No, I don't think he answered at all.
Okay. So then an arrest warrant was issued by New Jersey Police Department. They consider him armed and dangerous. This is May 14th. Right, it's pretty fair. May 14, 2013, Kai posted another Facebook status. And this one was basically on some like,
what would you do if your child was at home?
Get at a dog town.
Crying on the bathroom floor because she's hungry.
The only way to feed her is to sleep with a man for a little bit of money.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was big. It's big. What would you do?
His fucking daddy is gone. His daddy's gone. He's still on lockdown.
Or somewhere smoking rocks now.
Gotta put the Catchy Remix beat over it, What would you hold up? You gotta. It needs a catchy tone so you forget that it's sad and you can play it in the club. But there was no club for Kai. They was looking for him, but he was posting vigilante pedophile articles about if somebody touches you, should you go back and stab them in the forehead?
More specifically, it was like, what happens if you woke up in a stranger's home with a metallic taste in your mouth
and cum trickling down your face? It was very, very graphic.
Very, very graphic. What would you do, basically?
Now,
a lot of the comments, niggas is like, smash, smash, smash.
Nobody was a cry for help, and wasn't nobody helping. And I was sitting there looking at it, and I was like, well, if you take the stranger part out, I wouldn't be. I was like, if you remove the stranger part, I might be. It sounds like some stuff I have maybe done, but not the stranger shit. And I was like, okay, never mind.
Look, I'm not a victim blamer. But Kai, how many times you gonna end up in the exact same hypothetical situation?
Right.
I'm glad you noticed.
He did come back in a hat.
Different robe and everything. We outside.
So let's go back to Mother's Day. Kai was supposed to meet a fan from Facebook that day.
He was.
Basically, he flaked out on her until about 9 p.m. or something, right?
Right.
And then at that point, he starts to call her frantically, blowing her up, calling, texting, asking to be picked up. Like, and apparently whatever happened when he flaked on her originally, she didn't answer the phone for whatever reason.
No, remember, no, she was trying to hang out with him, and he asked how long it was going to be.
She said another couple hours.
And so he dipped and did something else. So he flaked on her. Mm-hmm. And then once he decided he was done doing whatever he was doing, the calls became very, very, very frantic.
Right. We got co-host moving the camera and shit.
What do you want?
So didn't happen. He made his way to Ashbury Park the next day to meet with this girl, took pictures and everything, and what he looks so different, right? Now we saw earlier before we didn't say this, but we see earlier that he got a tattoo on like kind of on half on his face, half on his neck, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because everybody was giving him shit, right? He could go everywhere. People was hugging him, giving him drinks, giving him food, giving him tattoos. Like basically, like his face was currency. Like he could go anywhere and just hug people and take pictures, and they would like give him shit.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So now that blonde, like beachy blonde hair is gone. It's dyed all black. It was shoulder length or something. It's cut now. Real, I kill somebody and I'm trying to not look like I used to look.
It's giving incognito, definitely.
It is giving incognito. So, let's see. So, she takes the pictures with him or whatever, but he looked different as fuck. Like, and let's see. Okay, so now he got caught in Philly, right? And this was maybe a couple of days later on the 16th of May. He gets caught at Starbucks because an employee recognized him and called 911. And they capture him at a bus station because, you know, the boy is always on the move.
On the move.
Right.
Okay. Then we get into the interrogation. Why do people just be talking?
So PSA.
Especially when you know you did something. Listen. I don't recommend talking innocent or guilty without a lawyer present. I do not recommend.
That was the PSA. We don't typically reflect the views of anybody except for ourselves, but I will say this for the two of them collectively. For anybody out there, I do not care who the fuck you are. I don't care if you killed 70 motherfucking people and the cops apprehend you with the knife in your hand and the cops walk up and say, "Hey, what are you doing?" and you juke it in there a couple more times while you say nothing. It does not fucking matter. When they take you to the police station, you say, "I want a lawyer." That is it. Do not talk to the police about anything because whatever you say, they will twist it or cut the parts out or whatever the fuck they want to do. And now you got to hope that your lawyer catches a goddamn Brady violation to keep your ass out of jail. No, do not talk to them about a motherfucking thing. Make them do some fucking work and prove the goddamn case.
So what did that lawyer say?
The burden is on them.
What did that lawyer say?
The burden is on the state to prove you did something. Don't give them any evidence. Do not talk to the fucking police. I don't care if you are innocent.
The lawyer in Don't Talk on the Phone said, or don't pick up the phone. What he said? He said 9 times out of 10, the story the police tell is not what the fuck happened at all. At all. So like, don't say shit.
I mean, he did it, but you don't say nothing.
But don't say nothing. Again, the burden of fucking proof is on the prosecution.
It's on the state.
That's on them. Shit. So if you don't say shit, they can't use nothing that you said as a way to fucking help prosecute you.
Also, don't take any lie detector tests. They're not admissible.
Because you can't even use that shit. So don't even do that.
Don't take that. And sorry, I just had to make that aside. I don't care what you did. Just like he said, I don't care who you are.
Of the night.
Yeah, because Kai said at the beginning, it doesn't matter your past or what you did. You deserve, to be treated as a person.
Ask for a lawyer.
Yeah, you deserve to have a lawyer present all the time. Does not matter who you are or what you did. There you go.
There you go.
So the story Kai tells is basically that he was defending himself. Kai says that basically this gentleman sexually assaulted him, and he was like, and started trying to beat him up, and he was like, nope, not doing that. And so he starts beating the guy up back and beats him to death, I guess, is his version of events.
After he tells the people though that didn't he tell him that dude tried to rape him? Like that story that he told in the interrogation room was like way weird.
He goes, Kai says that him and the victim met in New York City, and he was asking where Kai was headed. He said New Jersey. He was like, cool, I'll take you there. Apparently, they made a decision that he was going to stay at his house. They got food. They ordered food. They started drinking. They were drinking beer. Kai wanted, or the victim wanted the beers poured into a glass, right? Instead of just straight out the bottle. A nigga like Kai don't understand that, right? But also, could he have been roofing him? I don't know.
I mean, I've been roofied before. It's not a sexy feeling.
Okay.
I never told you that story.
Please, Sam. So he puts the beer in the glass. Kai's drinking. He's like, oh, I think I'm gonna go ahead and lay it down. He goes to lay down. The next morning, that's when we get that Facebook post. Basically, what would you do if you woke up in a stranger's house, metallic taste in your mouth, cum dripping from your face, and somebody blew a load in me? That's basically what he said, right?
Yeah.
Time out. I used to love being on Twitter every single motherfucking day.
Okay.
But there's times when things happen, and Twitter just ain't that important. You mean to tell me that there's cum dripping down your face? You are unaware how it got there. There's a metallic taste in your mouth, meaning you feel like you got roofed. And the first thing you do is go to Twitter and be like, hey, y'all, what would you do?
Well, first of all, Facebook, whole different situation.
Very true.
First of all, Facebook. Second of all, the craziest part of this and why they believe that this is not self-defense is they bring this up, right? So they see him on camera at the train station on Sunday. Kai tells the police that the assault happened Saturday. So based on his timeline of events, he is saying that this man sexually assaulted him. He woke up in his home, left after all of this transpired, decided to go back, meet him at the train station. They hugged and he left, and then decided, oh, I don't have a place to stay. Let me go back to your house.
And he went back to the victim's house
to kill him.
After he said that he was pretty sure that he was sexually assaulted.
After he had got the fuck away.
Now he tells the cops that he hit him with his hands, but Kai has no defensive marks.
Nope.
True.
At that point,
on the hand slapped that nigga. He was lying.
Right. Now, and also some point during the interview, Kai interrupts in his story to ask if he was really being charged with first-degree murder, and they were like, "Yeah, my guy, you are." And then he says a little bit more. This is okay. So after he brings that up, that's when he goes and says like, "Oh, I went back to his house or whatever." That's when shit kind of went wrong. He was like, "Let me ask for a lawyer." And they were basically like, he wanted to ask more questions. And they were like, nah, bro, you said you want a lawyer. So we're done talking.
Yeah, let's talk about right.
Yeah. So he has no defensive wounds and the autopsy came back, right? And the autopsy doesn't show anything that looks like he was the attacker.
No, it looks like he stomped that man to death, frankly, is what the inmate says. Looks like he stomped him out. He fractured his orbital bones in his eyes. And like the detective is saying, your eye socket is basically the orbital bones here in your like cheeks and under your eyes are very much the strongest bones in your body aside from like your femurs. So you have to be putting some serious force into hitting somebody to break those or mush that in. So a lot of times that's when you have hit somebody with something, or their face was pressed up against something, and then the pressure from whatever you did is pressing on that, which is why they said that it seemed as if he had stomped on him. Yes, I'm still not giving you a treat. Thank you so much.
Is it bad that I heard a stomp and I immediately thought of Kirk Franklin?
This is not that stomp. That's not. There was no people. It was one dead man. It was no people.
Jessup then mentions a Facebook post that Kai posted 2.5 weeks before this happened. And it was a Huffington Post article that's asked, is vigilante pedophile hunting a good idea? And he just kind of said, you decide for you, I'm going to decide for me. And when they arrested him, he had printed pages of sexual predators on him.
So he was going to be the hatchet wielding predator Batman?
Dude, we missing everything.
I mean, we'll say. So, I mean, we're kind of at the end at this point. Look, I love how she's like staring into your eyes.
That's the bitch stop playing. Look, like, listen now.
Right. Bitch, did I not?
I didn't shook your hand.
It's like you taught me this trick. You taught me this trick, and now you're embarrassing me in front of my friends.
Right. We ain't been. You gonna act like this? We ain't been on the air in a while. You teach me new trick. I'm trying to show the world, and I can't get a treat.
Yes, April. He basically did that. Like, we're talking about like all of like this part was stomped out. Like parts of his face were stomped out. He stomped that dude out.
Yo, for anybody who's never seen American History X, it ain't a lot of shit that made me cringe in a movie.
That made me laugh.
That was a lot. Thank you. Get down.
I watched that movie in A school and in Haven. That nigga got curved. When he got curved, everybody that was sitting there watching that shit was like, oh my God. And this one nigga just bust out. I said, oh.
I'll stay away from him. He done did that shit before.
Nah, I made that nigga my friend because I was like, shit, I don't want to have to worry about being your enemy. Fuck that shit.
About you stomping me out.
Ironically, a nigga that crazy, his nickname was Teapot, of all names, right? Really fucking. His name was Tyrone Potter. So,
okay, Teapot. I like it. Okay, so we're basically at the end because Caleb was clearly found guilty.
Right.
The judge said that he was a powder keg of rage and a cold-blooded, callous killer. He received 57 years in max security prison.
Right.
He's had an appeal. They've denied it. He's continuing to try to appeal. I don't know that he's going to be successful.
He's not.
Remember how?
Unless he can prove ineffective counsel, but unfortunately, you can't really prove that your counsel is ineffective when you confess to the police.
The whole story.
That's
a difficult for you. Sure.
That's difficult. So I don't know what he's expecting to have happen.
Remember when Suge said you don't want somebody dancing all in your videos?
Mm-hmm.
You want somebody, Caleb, your ass would have just took the Kardashian show. Would have just acted right.
Even if they would have only like been able to film one show, like
right, you would not be in jail right now, nigga.
It seems to me like he is either on the spectrum or has ADHD because the mom says that they got him tested but could never really come to any type of consensus about what was wrong. But judging by like his age, because they were calling him a kid, right? When this happened in 2013, but he wasn't like a teenager. I think they were saying maybe he was like 19, 20, maybe 21. Give or take. I mean, because I'm gonna say 20.
At it, yeah.
I'm gonna say 21 because he was buying drinks and smelling like alcohol. So assuming that maybe he purchased one of these drinks.
22, yeah.
I'm gonna say a kid basically, but not like a teen. So I mean, reasonably speaking, that that was shit. 10 years ago? He's 30 now. Mm-hmm. I mean, they didn't really diagnose you with shit like they did, but
back then, it was all ADHD. You not before ADHD. Remember, it was ADD. That's what everybody supposedly had. You had ADD, and then if you didn't want to say you had ADD, then it was just life. So you're right. That kid, he probably could have had. He could have been schizophrenic. He could have been anything. But right, motherfuckers wasn't diagnosing shit the right way, or diagnosing shit at all.
Yeah, so I mean, I think that I think that the mom really was doing whatever the fuck she was doing. He, got sent to a fucking home like he didn't have any fucking parents at 13. And then he, like that's a lot to deal with. So I'm not excusing the behavior, because certainly you didn't have to murder a dude, but
my bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I mean, yeah, if maybe someone would have paid him, like 5 more minutes of attention growing up, like none of this, we wouldn't be sitting here having this conversation.
This shit reminds me of, remember the Rob Zombie version of fucking Halloween, and the kid like that's what I see when I think of Caleb. Like, you're right, somebody gave a little kid a little bit more attention. The story could have we could be doing a whole different documentary right now, discussing a whole different documentary. Had moms just not locked him in that room.
The rise and fall of Kai and how he became a reality TV
within 3 months, y'all. All this happened within 3 months. Like, that's super important for y'all to really grasp. Like,
that's the real remix.
Very fast.
Like, that's crazy. He went from obscurity to
to prison for life. As
to
far
Kimmel
as
to prison in 3 months. Like, that's wild. If he really, if he hadn't even gotten in that man's car,
Right.
That's quicker than the transfer portal in college, goddamn it.
Because really, when you think about it, right? Like, they pulled the film from the transit place or whatever, but he don't have no credit cards or an ID, so somebody bought the ticket for him, and so if he was never famous, like, he'd have just been a murdering ass transient. Like, no one would have known who the fuck he was or where to pick him up from, and it just would have been an unsolved murder. Like, let's be real.
Real shit.
Exactly. But y'all, that is the Hatchet Wielding Hitchhiker. It's on Netflix, fairly new, so please.
It's not a long watch. Like, we talked about a bunch of shit and went on a tangent, but it's really not. It's like an hour, a little over an hour. It's not, yeah, it's a pretty short watch.
Also, if this is your first time at All Docked Up, if you don't know that we talk forever, then that's your fault.
Yeah. So thank you guys for coming back to chill with us. I think we're gonna just start doing other new stuff. So, Penrose, do you want to plug anything that you're doing right now?
Oh, I'm doing a fucking lot, man. First off,
Penrose
versus anybody is coming back in 2 weeks.
Cool.
So yeah, that'll be back. Limelight Vibes every Wednesday in the DMV area within Woodbridge at Clearbrook Center of the Arts. We do our own open mic showcase every single Wednesday. Every other Wednesday, it is a headline showcase. But every Wednesday, it is a show. I show my ass every Wednesday. My name Penrose and I'm dope as fuck. Also, okay, fuck you too, Chris. Also, I do this amazing podcast with you two ladies. Well, we don't know where the other one went. What else am I doing right now?
Stuff.
The network. I got 2 networks popping off, and yeah.
I'm back. Sorry, I just choked to death right now. We're all good.
That's what she said. Rex and effects on less begins. Why do you know anyway? No. So yeah, that's what I got going on, man. Trying to make Tuesday as always. Yeah. So yeah, Limelight Vibes every Wednesday. Penrose versus anybody is coming back. Of course, Protest and Riot. What I do with my homie Nelson on YCC Network. Shout out to D Murph. Shout out to Big Roy. Shout out to Baylor. There's always some things coming in that crew. And yeah, like I said, I do the podcast here with these 2 beautiful ladies, and shit. I'm pretty sure that's all I do.
All right. BJ, tell us about your latest episode and what else you got going on. So you're gonna give me a fucking treat.
Yeah. She said assaults. Assaults are happening because there were no treats. She likes squeaky shit. Sorry. So yeah, I have a dog. That's what I have going on. I have dogs. Yeah. So I had a birthday. That was a thing.
Yeah,
that was
Happy birthday, right?
Had a birthday. And Murder V Road is back. There's an episode out now. I covered the disappearance and murder of Mike Williams, which is a very interesting case. All right, I thought it was interesting. You may not think it was interesting, but I did. So
was her
that's
episode, so she can do what she wants.
Yeah, so that was really it. I'm just doing that, and then we're back. So that is it. I'm still
That is not it.
I'm still hawking cups at people.
Thank you.
I'm still hawking cups. Yeah, so Valentine stuff. I like to drink out of my own cups, so that one is a Stitch cup, which is very cute.
How cute is that?
Cold cups,
You still
hot
doing
cups,
senses?
mugs, huh?
You still doing sense?
Yep.
Bet I need some new
Carson,
bracelets.
I'm doing something,
PJ,
I'm
y'all.
doing something special for Chris.
Oh my god. I cannot wait.
Chris requested a very special car Cincy, so that'll be out shortly.
Yo,
I'm
what
waiting on-
I don't know if it's just never mind.
Okay.
So yeah, things like I sell car air fresheners and wax melts, and then in 2 weeks in time for February I will have massage candles, so they melt and you can use them as massage oil, so I'll have that going. So you can use that with the ones you love and you think are special, or you can just use it with somebody that you have good sex with, because I don't judge.
Yo, I used to use real candles, and somebody in the chat was like, you gotta stop that. You gotta stop that.
You up here like, don't be
Dear listeners, he does not have to stop, because somebody is into that, and that's okay.
No, so I'm into that, but somebody in the chat was like, yo, you're not using that on me, blood. I'm like, you gotta.
She's simply not the girl for you. Thank you. she's simply not the gal for you.
Oh no, I'm still take the regular wax, but you know. Anyway,
yeah, we know you go. I just get somebody else. You know what? Fuck it. I'm selling fucking massage oil candles. You know what?
Somebody
Okay.
else to do it.
And then sometimes I also sell wax melts. So if you want to pour wax melts on your partner, that's not my business. That's not their intended use. But you
Can you imagine somebody pouring gray sweats all over a bitch?
No, don't do it. Don't tell me about it. Don't tell me you did it. How about that? Just don't tell me, and I don't need to be involved, because disclaimer on the fucking package says that you shouldn't do that and you shouldn't eat it. And that's really all I have.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Thank you. So don't eat them.
We'll see you
I'm
next
selling them.
time.
I sell things. If you want a custom, you can DM me on Instagram or on Twitter. Sports cups, Valentine cups. There's cups everywhere. God bless you. And then I'll have a new cup next time we record, because there's always a cup. And then I'll have some t-shirts and some hoodies for Valentine's Day as well. So thanks.
I love all this.
Awesome.
Okay. And then I guess you guys can catch Shenanigans with Friends every Wednesday. This is back. You guys can catch 420 in Vegas every Monday. KOD bartending. I have a lot of stuff in the works, so just check my links, and that's how you'll catch up.
Yes, because she wants to make these nails so I can give her my money.
Yes, I'm like very serious about this. Like, I spend so much time on them, and I might as well. Literally every time I'm out somewhere, people compliment them, so it makes sense. All right, so guys, this has been All Docked Up. I'm Chris. That's VJ, and that's Penrose, and we'll see you guys next time.
Later.
Bye. Stay golden, bitches.
Stay golden.